Good morning, gentlemen. It is Wednesday, December 1st, hump day. Uh, Welcome to December. I already got my tree up, got my decorations out. I did that, I think we did it the day after Thanksgiving. Today's little video is about implied task. Now, I don't know if you know what that means, but I'll try to give you a brief description of it and why understanding what an implied task is extremely important. And this doesn't necessarily apply to guys who have been working a job or anything like that. This is for the younger gentlemen in the MGTOW community or just younger gentlemen in general. An implied task is being to work. You got to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning. That means that you have to have a series of events done before you arrive to work on time, which means you better be there by 6:50 at the latest 6:55. So you got to get up in time. You got to know how long it takes you to get from point A from your home or wherever you're living to that work site, to that job site. You got to be dressed properly. You got to be showered. You got to look presentable. Those kind of things. You have to have the right equipment. So that's what I mean by an implied task. Someone like a boss says, "Hey, after lunch, meet me over on Wharf 5, and we're going to take a look at that trailer." There's all kinds of stuff that are involved with that. Being on time is an implied task. For business meetings, there's implied task. If you're supposed to be in a business meeting or a meeting in general, you should be there a few minutes early to figure out what's going on, where you're going to sit, are you dressed appropriately, etc., etc., etc. You don't want to be the guy in a meeting that shows up late. You don't want to be the guy in a meeting where your cell phone goes off. You don't want to be that friggin' knucklehead who decides to answer a text in the middle of a meeting. That is an absolutely stupid, disrespectful thing and will probably most likely get you never taken serious and may get you fired. So the other thing is implied tasks have to do with interviews. I just did meetings. Interviews, such as an interview for a job, an interview for a promotion, an interview to vet somebody to date, an interview to I guess I kind of covered it all. Interviews for, let's say, a job interview. Here's some of the implied tasks that you should know about that job. You should know that company's mission. You should know that company's goal. You should know who the top officers are in that company before you ever get to that interview. If you want a promotion, you better know what the job requires for the job that you're applying for. It may require you to have a schooling under your belt. It could be an upper management class. It could be making you a certified public accountant. It could mean that you have to understand diesel engines as they apply to HVAC. It may mean that as a supervisor or a corporal and you're a training officer as a Leo, you have to know the laws inside and outside and backwards and forwards. You have to be able to correct somebody with tact and professionalism. You don't embarrass them. There's all kinds of different things for interviews and for jobs. There's only a couple more things I have, is why it's important for you to sometimes work for a very gruff, rough person. Somebody who's just there. They don't want to, you know what? Here's the other thing. You want to do well, stop telling everybody your goddamn life story. Have some mystery about yourself. Just answer if you are asked a yes or no question, just answer yes or no. An implied task is to give them the information they want and not trip the light fantastic, which means that, hey, do you have the 7/16 wrench to take this bolt off? And you go on to like, well, you know that wrench yesterday, I saw it in the back of the truck. Come on, man. I mean, just come on. Act like you got some common sense, even though common sense isn't that common. So having a tough boss can show you or teach you leadership traits. And what that means is that you should start off trying to pick and choose the things that you like about different styles of leadership, authoritarianism, uh, delegation, participation. There's all kinds of different ways to lead people, and you'll find out what is the most practical way to deal with the job that you want to do, or you can just consider being a worker bee. So if you become a really good employee, you follow all the implied tasks, well, they don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about you showing up late, not dressed properly. You show up in a sports car and we're driving down dirt roads all day fixing telephone poles, or we're climbing poles and you don't have the right clothes on. I mean, some jobs require a pickup truck. Some jobs require a sedan. Some jobs, no job I've ever seen requires a sports car to you show up in. I don't think any of you are going to be Formula One race car drivers. All right. Again, understanding an implied task is just a basic thing that you need to do as a man. You have to understand that if I need to be somewhere, if I need to do something, I need to understand all the other tasks that are involved in me getting the job done right the first time without screwing it up. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. If you can't, take care of yourself. Like a fart in a G string from West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.